What's up, it's Joe and I am one of the co-founders of Game Global. If you've been following me on Instagram or in one of our Game Global Telegram groups, you would have frequently seen videos of me partying with girls who are frankly way too beautiful to be spending time with a guy that looks like this. Okay, if you're a true OG, then perhaps you've seen like videos or heard audio clips of me walking up to women in the middle of the day and introducing myself, making them think I'm awesome, and then convincing them, I guess, to swap contact details so that we can organise a date. Alright? If you're wondering what's actually happened to that footage, we'll explain that later on. But it never used to always be this way. Alright? Really quickly, my backstory. Like, I was kind of okay, sort of, not really, with women in my teens and my early 20s. Alright? Got into a relationship, we moved in together. It was really, really toxic for like the last year of that. It ended with her cheating on me, and then that completely ruined my confidence. For the next year, like barely any dates, definitely no like sex or anything like that. And luckily, I guess that was when I started, or that's when I discovered Game. And then actually, within days of discovering this, I started to meet some really hot women and get results, like go all the way with them, alright? But how could this happen? How could I go from being absolutely useless to pulling some really hot girls, like within a few days? Okay, well, that's what I'm going to explain in this video. There are a lot of guys who decide that they're going to learn all of the theories that all of the coaches have written, okay? And they spend hours watching YouTube videos and reading books, and they still are no good and they're still not pulling girls home, alright? Whereas I have just literally like learned a few of like the silly little canned lines and routines that used to be like written. This is back in 2014. And then somehow, like, I think it was 2 girls taken home for a one night stand in the first 2 weeks of knowing about this. How? Well, this is what I'm going to talk to you today. Excitement. I discovered it was possible to learn how to get better with women and improve your results, and how to take hot women home for raunchy fucking sex. I was excited. That might sound obvious, but a lot of people who are new to this idea and this scene, they are not excited, they are terrified. Okay? Here was my mindset. Okay? I'm a great guy, just the girls can't see it, and this is going to help them see it, right? The things I have to say are awesome, and I can't wait for people to hear. Alright? Wow. And mostly this, I would be watching the old school coaches online on YouTube, and they would say like, I used to be bad with women, then I just followed these steps, this, and now I'm good. And I was just like, I believe it. Alright, I have to explain this somehow off the top of my head. Like, if you have approach anxiety, if you're not excited to go and talk to that girl, like, yeah, it's natural, and we've talked about why it's natural in other videos, but it's like, most of it is like ego. Like, if you're worried about the rejection, that is ego. Like, oh, because it might ruin how I see myself and how other people see me, that is ego. If you can just drop your ego and just do the approach and just do what we're suggesting you do in these videos, and then you just do that again and again and again, and you follow the other steps which I'm about to speak to you with no ego, alright? Just allow yourself to be bad and to make mistakes, just like you would with any other hobby, alright? Then you will be, all that's left is excitement, right? Because, fuck, hot girl, I get to talk to her, she gets to listen, excited. When I was first going out, like, and I would, so we're not supposed to drink, we're supposed to stay sober and do the things that the coaches told us, and then we're going to learn from our mistakes, alright? My first few nights of doing that, I was like, new experience, this is exciting. And all I really did was like say some of like the routines, like the canned lines that I had like read on the internet or like in the book The Game by Neil Strauss, which is not a good book to learn from, but that was the first book I read. It's a nice story, but like the advice in there is very dated. Okay, so yeah, so I don't I was like, wow, these lines work apparently. So I'm excited to try them and see if they work. All right. So let me try and think. Oh, going back to some of the old school lines, what would I say? I'd be if there was two girls like, you girls look like. Oh, it's so cringy. You girls look like you're best friends. I can tell you spend a lot of time together from like the mannerisms in your face or something like that. There's a classic one, like, who lies more, men or women? I don't think I ever used that one. I hope not. Okay, now, like, the way I delivered those lines into the camera, like, that's not going to work on the girl. But because I was so excited to have a try, like, girls were, like, bought in and like, oh, I think boys, or is it who cheats more, boys or girls? Like, whatever the fuck it was. But at the time, like, I was so bought in, like, excited. Like, excitement is infectious. Okay? This is why we tell people, like, you can open with anything if you think that what you have to say is awesome. Because I had that, like, excitement in my voice. And, like, no ego, no fear, no, oh, I hope they like me, alright? Just pure excitement, like, I'm doing game, wow! Yeah, like, people can read that. People can see that in your body language. It's subtle, but I think everyone, especially girls are so perceptive of, like, body language. They can see. It's really, really difficult to hide. So what would I do if I was with someone coaching or just like hanging out with a guy and he wasn't excited to go and meet girls? He was nervous, or he was just like hiding his nerves, like, this is stupid, I don't care, I just want to, like, whatever. Okay, I would do what I've also know that a lot of other coaches do, alright? And that is to take steps to remove the ego, okay? Just be really, really silly in the first part, whether this is in the daytime or at night. Really, really silly, okay? So, like, you could, before you go to the club, you could just, like, comfort zone exercises. We've got loads of these. Like, the most common ones that I've heard of, like, you just go up to a girl and you just do the stupid openers, maybe, which, look, I talked about. Okay? I know some people that recommend you go up to a girl with, like, your finger up your nose and then you just have a normal conversation. I know it's been recommended that you go up to a girl with, like, your hands on your head and try and have a conversation like this. Just anything, alright? Stupid dancing in the club, yeah? Back in the day we used to, like, you have to dance like an animal. So this is like gorilla, apparently. Like, this is elephant. Like a gopher. Yeah, that was like something we used to fucking do. Alright, and just act like a complete clown. And this sounds really cringe, maybe, especially to you serious guys watching. But all coaches will make their students do this on a night out because it helps get rid of the ego. Okay? And then, like, once you don't care what people think about you anymore, all that's left is excitement. You, hot girl, what's not to be excited about? Another surefire way to get rid of your ego is to just go out a lot. Okay? Go out a lot, get rejected a lot. Okay? And that will do a lot to make you feel not so cool, to the point where you become numb to it and you forget about it. and you're like, well, this has happened to me now. I guess I'm not cool, so I guess I might as well just keep going. All right? There's nothing better for killing your ego than trying to pick up girls while sober, okay? Because you're going to get beat down. There's even the best guys, right? They're taking a lot of rejections a night, but it's good for them in the long run because they learn to stop taking themselves so seriously. They realise that the rejections from other girls don't matter, especially once they have started to grow some self-esteem and realise that some girls do like them, alright? It's the best thing you can do, and I think losing the ego is just a great thing just for life, but also to help you just to help you enjoy life and to enjoy going out to meet girls. You see some of like the stuff that I said to girls, like I mentioned some things in this video, like you that's not a cool thing to say. Like the only thing that made girls like drawn into me was like pure excitement and enthusiasm, especially in the night time. That's girls just want to be around that, okay? And that was enough for like Joe the beginner who never got laid in a year to actually start seeing